Throughout most of Florida, it is illegal to discriminate in employment, housing, and public accommodations based on race, color, religion, sex, national origin, age, disability, or marital status. However, it is still legal to fire someone or deny them access to housing or public accommodations based on their sexual orientation or identification. This means that the LGBT community is currently left out of statewide non-discrimination protections. Would you support a state law to include the LGBT community into current laws? Mr. Simeone.
Keep turning off my microphone, sorry about that. Okay. So, you guys all read a little bit about us before you came in or not. The endorsements speak volume. I've been endorsed by the HRC now, which is the National Organization for Women, the Equality Florida of Palm Beaches County, HRC. Listen, everyone should be treated equal. Who, again, I go back to saying what I said before. Why should I, as a legislator, discriminate on any law that says because of your, gender or, of course, your color, whatever it might be? Who am I to say, otherwise? I think that we need to do a better job on embracing everybody. So I'm married 19 years. I still got a smile on my face. Okay? At the end of the day, we need to embrace everybody. I don't want to have any discriminatory actions towards anybody. And let me tell you something. In law enforcement for 10 years, I'm not saying it was hard, but do you understand how many people that I had to deal with on a daily basis? I don't care if it was transgender, LGBT, whatever the case may be. I didn't discriminate. I treated everyone as equal. And I plan on going to the State House to try to infuse some of that knowledge to the individuals that are in the House now and the inner fighting that's going on. If you guys are following the State House State House of Representatives here in Florida, there's a lot of inner fighting. Because you know what they're not doing? Is this. They're not talking. It's either left or right. There's nothing in between. Why can't we reach across that island and get some common sense issues done for the betterment of the people in the community? Listen, I'm not voting myself in. The voters are voting me there. So when I get voted in, I plan on doing the work for the people, by the people. You guys are voting me in, and I'm going to value that and love it to death. My door is wide open. If I don't have time, I'll make the time to see everybody, and I don't think we should discriminate on anything.
Thank you, Mr. Simeone. Mr. Roth?
I like the part where he said when he gets elected. I'll use the same line. When I get elected, I will definitely have an open door policy. I was asked by the Palm Beach Post yesterday, how can you serve the people in this area when you didn't live in this area? And I said, well, I was born in Palm Beach County. I've lived here my whole adult life. I do business in this part of the area. I'm moving in next week. So I have a totally open door policy, and I will work harder than anybody in order to do the job and get to know everybody that wants an issue solved or dealt with in this legislature. If somebody comes into my office and wants to talk about anti-discrimination, I am more than happy to talk about anti-discrimination. I do not have a position on this, honestly. To me, the whole issue of LGBT discrimination, I'm not aware that it's even a problem in housing. Maybe it is. If it's a problem in housing, we need to do away with it. I have the privilege as a farmer to having worked an all-black workforce in the 70s and the 80s. My farm is the only farm in the Glades that had a black farm manager for 35 years. So discrimination, farmers aren't interested at all in what color your skin is, what your ethnic group, where you're from. We're looking for good, hardworking people that want to work. We are happy to promote people of all minorities. So this idea of discrimination, I have been blessed to be able to work with all different kinds of groups of people. I honestly don't have a position on this. I'm very much willing to entertain any motions to change the laws to prevent discrimination.
Thank you, Mr. Roth. Mr. Simeone, you have 1 minute.
Okay, great. So, I had to take some notes down. I like what Mr. Roth says. I believe so heartily that when you live in a district, you know the community, you know the issues, and I'm shaking hands with my neighbor in my district, where I've lived for this district for 20 years. I'm not going to move there when I'm elected. I'm not going to promise that, hey, when I get elected, I'm going to move there. I lived in Wellington, I lived in Loxahatchee, and we're moving to the garden soon, I guess. But, you know, listen, at the end of the day, I deal with the community on a daily basis, from law enforcement to current dad. You know, I think it's important. If I can help affect some of that change, great. As far as discrimination, I think we should take a hard look at discrimination issues and lawsuits that might have been, you know, proposed. I employ 80% of my staff are women. Colors, genders, don't matter. Got some women that, you know, are part of the LGBT community. I'm diverse like that. So that's proof that I'm not a discriminatory individual, and I'm gonna work hard to make sure that happens.